Welcome back, everyone. Today we are talking about the accusative case, and particularly we're talking about the main function of the accusative case, which is the accusative of direct object. Okay, so we have to start with the question, what is a direct object? A direct object in English and in Latin and in any language is the thing that receives the action of the verb. So if you punch your brother, which I'm sure you've never done, you punch your brother, then, and I'm not advocating that you punch your brother right now or anything like that, so don't blame that on me, mom and dad. So if you punch your brother is receiving the action of the verb. You are punching him, right there. So your brother is the direct object. So it's pretty simple. So anything that receives the action of the verb in the sentence is the direct object. Well, what this means in Latin, which of course is an inflected language, is that the direct object is going to be in the accusative case. Since we don't know the Latin word for brother, it's frater, but since we haven't learned it yet, we're going to avoid using brother. So we'll use another example of a direct object. Okay, so here's an example of a sentence that has a direct object. So, de a huelam monet. This is a good sentence because it actually has something that we talked about in the last lecture, and that's a nominative, a subject. So we have, and the sentence translates as the goddess Monet warns the girl. We haven't talked much about word order in Latin yet, because we haven't had very many sentences, but usually in Latin, the verb is going to go at the end. The subject will typically come at the beginning, but not always, and the direct object will usually go in between them. But that order is flexible, because remember, Latin is an inflected language. We can flip it around as long as we have the same case endings. Okay, so the goddess warns the girl. The girl is the direct object, because she is being warned. And notice that in our sentence, she is in the accusative case, right? Is the accusative singular ending, and dea is in the nominative case. So dea is the subject, and puellam is the direct object, which we will abbreviate as dio. So puellam here is the dio, the direct object. Okay, let's do another example. All right. Okay, here's another sentence that has a direct object. Philia deam videt. And this sentence would translate as the daughter sees the goddess. Okay, this time deam is accusative, so deam is the direct object, and philia is nominative, so philia is the subject. We can also make our direct objects plural, and so here's an example of a sentence with a plural direct object. Okay, so nautas moneo. Notice there's no nominative word here. There's no nominative subject, so if we're going to find the subject of the sentence, we look at the verb ending. So the verb ending is O, which we should always do anyway, and O means I, so I warn the sailors. Sailors are the direct object. How do we know that? Well, they are in the accusative case. So the direct object is always going to be in the accusative case, and here, in this case, the direct object is plural. Okay, so it's really, really important that you pay attention to the endings and whether they are singular, like deam, so we said gades, or nautas, plural, sailors. Okay, so it's really, really important. Okay, and that is all for this lecture, and looking forward to seeing you next time.